On April 7, 1916, 23 businessmen organized the Rotary Club of Flint, Michigan. Since then, a number of our members have become legendary by devoting their lives to service above self. With 37 years of service to our club, Ellen T. Smith is one of our great legends. First, let's set the scene. By 1916, the expanding automobile industry made Flint the fastest growing city in the United States. In 5 short years, the population had more than doubled and now stood at 85,000 citizens. During the previous 12 months, the number of telephones had increased to an astonishing 4,700 units. With 8,231 students enrolled in our schools, there was a severe shortage of classrooms. And of course, we remembered that 1916 was the year that the Supreme Court ruled that the income tax was constitutional. In 1917, Flint Rotary's board decided to combine the offices of Secretary and Treasurer. Then, in 1918, 2 months after being elected as Secretary-Treasurer, Claude Kagi resigned and moved away. Desperate to fill the vacancy, the board appointed Ellen T. Smith, who had joined Rotary just 6 months before, to the position. Ellen was born in Olean, New York in 1890 and came to Flint with his family in 1905. His father was a lawyer and later the Flint City Librarian. Smith graduated from the old Flint High School and went on to the University of Michigan, obtaining his law degree. After practicing law for a few years, he joined the Industrial Savings Bank, handling special accounts. During the Great Depression, that bank failed, and Ellen moved to Citizens Commercial and Savings Bank as a trust officer. He remained there until his retirement in 1955. After the death of his first wife in 1937, Ellen married the former Carolyn Van Ostrand, who once served as nurse of Flint Rotary's Crippled Children's Clinic. In 1918, our club had grown to nearly 100 members, and of course all record keeping was done manually. Ellen was meticulous in his duties, so good in fact that he was re-elected Secretary-Treasurer 36 times. In our archives, we found his membership application form. Obviously, this was an updated form because originally Ellen was employed by the Industrial Savings Bank, not Citizens, as shown here. This is his 1940-41 attendance record. As protector of the club's archives, Ellen stored them in Citizens Bank Vault. During the Great Flood of 1947, high water destroyed all of the records. Feeling guilty about the loss, Ellen, before his retirement, wrote from memory a history of our first 40 years. This history chronicles most of what we know about our club's early beginnings. After 37 years of continuous service, Ellen retired as our Secretary-Treasurer on July 1, 1956. At the October 5, 1956 Rotary meeting, President Lindow proclaimed that, as a tribute to Ellen, Rotarians will change their name for the day to Smith. Everyone wore Mighty Smithy Day hats. After many kind words of recognition and praise, he was presented with an expensive telephoto lens. Photography had been his lifelong hobby. Here we see on the left J. Palmer Crawford, past president in 1947-48, presenting the telephoto lens to Ellen Smith, seated on the right. President Les Lindow is in the center. Soon after, Ellen moved to Clearwater, Florida, where he lived for 7 years before his death on November 25, 1963. We owe an enormous debt of gratitude to Ellen T. Smith for his 37 years of service as Flint Rotary's Secretary-Treasurer. Ellen is truly one of our club's great legends.